As host here at QVC. We're not just program hosts, we also shop here. I've been part of QVC now. This is my 27th Christmas. And I'm a car guy. My name is Dan. Good morning to you and welcome. We have the buying power to go to big companies like Stanley that have been with us for over 139 years and ask them to build us items that they will not build for anyone else. Whenever you hear the term FatMax in a Stanley line, if you buy the FatMax drill, you bought the best they make. If you buy the FatMax screwdriver, it's the best they make. Well, this is their 1400 peak amp power station. Powerful enough to jumpstart any 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, and most 8-cylinder vehicles. 1400 peak cranking amps. Built into this unit is also 120 PSI, means pounds per square inch, air compressor to keep your tires pumped up, your basketballs, your bike tires, the SUV, four-wheelers, etc. Keep all those tires inflated. It's also a 500-watt power inverter. These are standard household plugs, plugged right into the unit. This unit is completely self-contained. It's going to give me the power to keep things moving and running when there's no power on at our home and we're getting into inclement weather. This is our top of the line. It's the best we offer, it's the best that's made, and we've got it for a very good price. I want to introduce you to my car guy. Howard, are you? How are you, my friend? Good morning. Thanks for staying up late. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
We've done this demonstration before, but it's usually with a 4, maybe a 6-cylinder.
Right.
This is what I drive, a Ford F-150. It's a big 8-cylinder pickup truck. It takes a lot more cranking amps to fire this bad boy over, but this will do it.
This will. 1400 peak amps is the biggest FatMax we've ever had here, and it has the power for all those full-size vehicles, pickup trucks, SUVs, vans, you name it. It's going to start them right up.
Yep.
And I know this is probably the most intimidating thing for a lot of people. Opening that hood and jump-starting their car, and they worry, can they do it right? Are they going to do something wrong? Because you have one chance with the old-fashioned jumper cables.
And if you screw it up, you do damage to your car or damage to yourself.
Absolutely. But Stanley has built the FatMax with protections in place. So I'm going to go up incorrectly on purpose just to show you, if you can open your hood and find your battery, you can do it safely. Here it is hooked up backwards.
Yep.
It's letting us know.
Yeah.
A little symbol's flashing saying reverse polarity, and it's beeping, letting us know you have it on wrong and you haven't heard anything. So you simply switch it. It's as easy as that. It also tells you when it's right. It gives you that one tone, and the engine symbol lights up and flashes. That's letting you know you have a good connection to the battery.
So all you do is you take this switch, flip it, and then I turn around and go right back into the cab of the truck, fire it up, and
instantly.
I'm back on the
You're instantly
road.
starting it because you're not recharging this battery. You're jump starting it just as if another car was here, but you don't need that other car. You don't need jumper cables. You're not waiting around an hour for roadside assistance, who's just going to bring one anyway.
And you've got enough power on this thing that I could jumpstart an entire line of trucks. And then the alternator in your vehicle will charge up your batteries.
And that's important, just what you said, Dan, because you may jumpstart your car to go to work.
Right.
You don't have time to fix it. When you get out from work,
you got to jumpstart it again.
You got to jumpstart it again to get where you're going.
And I think
this is one of the great tools.
Every bit as important as being able to
Absolutely.
jumpstart your vehicle is people don't check their air pressure the way we used to years ago. I like the new valve stem.
Yes,
the
it
way
has
that
the
works.
SureFit tip, which makes it very easy. It just threads right on. Just fingertip strength, you're not wrestling. And you notice this is a big 18-inch wheel, and the hose is long enough to reach it even when it's right at the top. As soon as you connect it, press the compressor button. Power it up.
It'll automatically read the pressure in the tire.
And what I love about this, Dan, is it has a digital gauge with auto shutoff. So that's what's in the tire right now, 35 PSI. And it's set at 35 PSI. So if I can raise it up to 36, press the compressor button, it's going to turn on, and then I can walk away. I don't have to worry about shutting off or overinflating that tire.
Good.
It knows that pressure. It's going to remember that setting. Tomorrow, next week, next month, I can go around to all the other tires and get them exactly the same. Takes all the guesswork and worry out of inflating your tire.
And this time of year, more than any other, as it gets colder and colder, it's critical to have the proper air pressure in your tire. That's going to save you money on gasoline, but it's also going to keep you safer. And by the way, you can always find on the inside of the door, right here is a label that'll tell you what the air pressure is for your automobile.
And there it is. You can hear it shut off all by itself, no worries.
You also get all the nozzles and all the needles that are necessary for sports balls,
beach inflatables,
even
and
racing
bicycles.
So you get it all. And this is one of those gifts that someone will use. And by the way, the unit itself is rechargeable over and over and over again. You'll charge it up when you get it at home, charge it overnight.
Yes, put it on for 24 hours and don't worry about overcharging it because it's built-in protection so you can't overcharge
Then either put it in the trunk of the car, mine resides in the back seat, underneath the back seat of my pickup truck. And then what we recommend is, every month or so, pull it out, just top it off, make sure you're good to go. But this is true independence. This is self-reliance. If your power goes out in your home, then bring it into the house because you'll still be able to plug in things like your alarm clock, which you'll need. You still have to go to work the next day.
Television, light, charge up your cell phone, your tablets, all the things you see around here running.
Everything you see is running off of Stanley FatMaxes.
Because it has 500 watts of AC power. This is outlets just like in your house, 500 watts, plug anything you like in there. And it has the 12-volt outlet, just like in your vehicle, and a USB, because we have so many things in our lives now that run off of USB. So you want to keep those things charged up when the power goes out. I mean, think about this. The power goes out and you have a laptop that has its own battery, but your router is not running without power. So
or
plug
for me,
that in.
my home phone, believe it or not, they'll still work, but you won't hear them ring. So if you plug your home phone into it, you still have phone service even when everybody's dark in the neighborhood.
And getting power is easy as plugging it in, hitting the switch,
tailgating.
You've got power.
Because I don't mind a power outage, but when the blender doesn't work at the tailgating party, that's an inconvenience.
Now we've seen all the ways it's going to give us power. Jump starting your car, inflating your tire, running things around the house, but we have to give some power back.
Sure.
Stanley took all the worries out of that too. Instead of losing this charging pack, they've built it right in, and you can use any extension cord, but if you don't have one, they've included one. You get your own extension cord, and if the power's out for days, they give you a vehicle charging cord, so you can plug one end into the 12-volt outlet here.
So when I drive to work, just plug it into the cigarette lighter and recharge it.
Recharge it while you're
so
going.
I can use it again when I get home.
Power's out at home, it hasn't come back on, charge it up while you're driving. It could be easier. Everything stores right in this compartment in the back.
Howard, and by the way, we've done this with Stanley a few years in a row, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. This is the biggest, most powerful FatMax unit from Stanley that we have ever offered. And we give it to you at $149 and change. There's a lot of $60 and $70 chargers out there in the market, especially this time of year. A lot of gift giving, and they become toys. It's almost like the car vacuum that just buzzes and doesn't do anything. You got to spend a little money to get great quality. This is the best we've ever offered. Here's also what it will run in terms of hour-long usage for things like a 120-watt light bulb.
For 2 hours, a 60-watt fan 2 hours, a 40-watt lamp 4 hours, the laptop and the TV 5 hours. So if that power's out and you want to check the weather report, see what the power outage is, you can do that. Plug in your smartphone 25 hours. Imagine how many charges that is, 25 hours. That's a lot of charges on your phone. Your alarm clock, just because the power's out doesn't mean you get a day off from work. You still got to get up and get there.
So here's how it works. Normally, when we do this demonstration, we'll do it with a 4-cylinder or 6. This is a big 8-cylinder Ford F-150, and it doesn't take a second car. You don't need the jumper cables. It's self-contained. You don't need a Good Samaritan. You are the Good Samaritan.
You can be on the road in 5 minutes when your battery's dead. And there's no gauge in your car that tells you your battery's dead or going to die. It just happens.
There's a gas gauge, but no battery gauge usually.
So you don't know what you're doing. Open the hood, find the battery, connect it. If you do it wrong, it's going to tell you. Right there, the symbol's flashing, the tone is sounding, letting you know you have reverse polarity and you haven't hurt or damaged anything.
That's so critical because vehicles, especially new vehicles, everything is computer-aided and driven by electronics.
So when you hook it up right, it's going to tell you that too. So you know you've got a good connection. The engine symbol's flashing right here. Now you're ready to turn the keyless safety switch to on, and you have 1,400 peak amps. So the 4, 6, and 8-cylinder engines, you're going to start them up immediately and be on the road. So you're not late getting to work. You're not late getting to the doctor's appointment, late picking up the kids, all the places we have to be.
And because they're jump starters, that's what the FatMax is all about. It's utilizing, again, 1,400 peak amps, but it's a surge. So it's not going to charge your battery. That'll happen with your alternator as you drive. But you've got enough power in here to jumpstart your vehicle many, many times in a row before you recharge it. Then the air compressor.
Yes, this is my favorite feature, 120 PSI air compressor with a sure fit tip. So you don't have to wrestle with that, hard to install and force on. This one threads right onto the valve stem with just fingertip strength. As soon as it's on, you press the compressor button, power it up. It's going to tell you the pressure in your tire.
Most people don't carry a tire gauge with them.
Right, and you don't need to with this. It tells you the pressure, and then you can set the pressure you want right there. Once it's set, you're ready to just push the button again, and it turns on, and after that, you're worry-free. You can walk away, get back in the car and stay warm. It's going to pump that pressure till it hits the shutoff.
What you're giving is the gift of independence, the gift of self-reliance.
It is.
As a father, I want to make sure my daughter's got something like this in her car, my son-in-law, my wife. I've got one in the back of my truck. It's the biggest, baddest unit that Stanley's ever made. And they don't sell it anywhere else in the world. It was made for QVC and made for you. Enjoy it. It's one of my top 10 gift pick ideas as well. Howard, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dan.
I'm going to say